This is number 3 of a 5-part series. Number 3 mistake for business owners when forming their business, the most common mistakes that I see. No one wants to think about it, but what happens on the exit? No one at the start of a business wants to think about how is this all going to end. No one at the start of a contract wants to think about how it's going to all fall apart. But we need to account for these in our planning in advance. What happens if one of the business owners, one of the business partners passes away? What happens to their ownership interest? Who takes over? How is that transferred? What is the succession plan? What happens if someone wants to get out? What if a business relationship just isn't working and we want to transition owners? What if you want to push someone out? How can you go about doing that? A lot of that is defined in your business agreement. For an LLC, that's your operating agreement. For your corporation, that's your bylaws or any other contracts that you may have in place for your business. That governs how owners operate, how they engage with each other, what their obligations are. That's going to be defined in an actual contract that your business has. One key, and this is kind of subpart 3B, I see a lot of owners not get this business agreement even in place. For LLCs, legally, they're not required in most states to have an operating agreement, but I would never advise ignoring that option, right? Even as a sole proprietor or even as a single member LLC or even as the only owner of the business, sometimes you need these agreements in place and written up into a contract. And particularly when you're talking about what's the exit strategy and how do you get out of this business or how do you dissolve the business.